I chose a vacation rental on my trip to Kauai to test out a theory that access is the new luxury in travel. I've been to Hawaii before, and I had a good time, but I don't remember that much more. The trips I remember these days are the ones in which I make lasting personal connections. This ability to access relationships as if I'd known these people for years is what creates truly memorable experiences. This is the new luxury. It's not all about material wealth anymore. It's introductions to the people that make a place unforgettable. Anyone who's visited a good friend in a new place knows the feeling. And while I don't have friends everywhere, I do know that a carefully selected vacation rental business can be that friend who provides a window into the greater community.
I'm Callum.
Nice to meet you.
I'm killing your pig.
Nice to meet you. Oh, you're killing the pig. Amy and Linda's marketing style and attitude seem focused more on helping me have the most amazing vacation possible than selling me on any one of their properties. The property that I did choose, Halemoku, a cliff-top stunner surrounded only by crashing waves, would serve as the perfect travel companion in exploring Kauai and all her incredible people. The term vacation rental can mean a lot of things. But at the very core, it's a movement unlocking a whole new way to travel. For years, I've immersed myself in the community of people leading this movement. And I'd like to share with you their stories as we rediscover hospitality on a whole new level. My name's Matt Landau, and this is A Sense of Place.
Yeah, I've been to Hawaii, but it was so long ago, I don't remember a thing. You meet these guys?
I did.
Amy and Linda are two of the most thoughtful vacation rental professionals that I've come across in many years of research and travel.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, we just got this house. We actually went after it 4 years ago.
It was abandoned for years.
Yeah.
Halemoku.
Yeah. Sugarcane employees used to do dances on the roof of the garage in the 30s. So this one has huge history.
And the footprint of the original
This
home
is it.
is it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you'll see inside
Can we do some dancing on the rooftop?
it has character. We've done a lot of work to it since we got it.
But you said like it's not luxury. To me, this is the absolute perfect beach house like mix.
Yeah.
Simple, open, like no fancy.
But the truly multi-million dollar view.
After so many emails back and forth prior to my stay, I felt like I practically knew these women already. And while the verdict is still out on whether in-person check-ins should be obligatory in our young vacation rental industry, I will say that when arriving to an exotic destination, it is always something of a relief to finally meet a host and to know that I'm in good hands.
Tomorrow morning you're going west to meet Annie. Annie delayed her trip so she could meet with you.
Which one's Annie?
But for me, how? She pushed her trip back to Las Vegas. She was going to have her daughter meet with you, but she pushed it back so she could tell you the story of me, how.
Wow.
Fresh watermelon juice and coconut water from a local shop sat in the fridge along with a bottle of champagne for mixing.
Wow. Is this like a thing? Because I've seen this company logo a couple different places.
Check them out.
Cold pressed juice has just gone bonkers.
Right?
And as I'd learned after visiting their offices, every Monday morning, Amy and Linda and the team at Great Vacation Retreats meet for what they call WOW meetings, in which they run through the list of incoming guests for that week. And they try to identify small but meaningful gifts that can be curated to each traveler's preference.
We are definitely on the beginning of the WOWs. In 5 years from now, you can come back and re-interview us, and it will be a wow up here.
The juice gesture was a mini taste of the world-class hospitality I'd experience in the days to come. When in Kauai, you're kind of obligated to hit the surf. And had I been staying at one of the big hotels, I would have likely been referred to a generic surfboard rental company like everyone else. The folks at Great Vacation Retreats had a better idea. Kelly Hunt,
Oh, that's perfect for a bald guy. That's
go.
like the exact opposite of what a hat is supposed to do for a bald guy.
No shade, yeah.
Kelly's a former pro surfer who'd been teaching Amy's daughter Presley to surf, and I was told that after a stand-up paddling session, Kelly would be open to showing me his side of Kauai. After about an hour of Kelly shouting at me to paddle harder, I invited him to lunch. We went to the Koloa fish market, where Kelly's basically been eating his entire life.
Pig, you guys want?
Let's get a little bit of everything that you like.
Okay.
Oh, I think this is the place where they said, like, if you don't know exactly what you're gonna order, like a local will just kind of like, I'm gonna skip right past you.
This one's Koloa pig.
That one.
Yeah. Oh, this one is fish.
Okay.
But this one this is wasabi cream, which I think does have a little bit of mayonnaise.
Among the spread emerged my favorite, the traditional poke. This is a reliable tip, by the way. Ask locals where they like to eat. It's almost never where the guidebooks suggest. I saw the small town allure that Kauai offers and the mom and pop businesses that seem to keep all of it afloat.
You guys going art night tonight, Matt?
Sure.
Yeah, maybe
We're going to the fair.
Yeah. Maybe we'll cruise out there. I'll come check you out.
That evening, Kelly invited me over to his house to meet his family before art night, where once a week the small town of Hanapepe transforms into this open-air market.
I feel like it might be a stupid question, but I have no idea what it is.
Kava is this plant,
Okay.
and it's used as a muscle relaxer.
Really?
Yeah, a mild sedative.
Sounds like something I should try. Salud.
What'd you get?
Kava.
Oh.
How did you not tell us about that?
Oh, what? Kava?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I had dinner at the Japanese restaurant where Kelly's son worked.
There's my giraffe child. See him in there?
Yeah.
How could you not? Dude, he has to duck to go in the kitchen, bro.
I would have never discovered the fish market nor Hanapepe, especially on such an intimate level, without Kelly's insight.
There's a certain convenience about Hawaii that you forget. Like how lucky like you really are, like basically like where you guys are staying today. Like you can go down the beach in 5 minutes, dress like how you are. No shoes, just shorts, a shirt if you want. You can go for a quick surf, you can lay on the beach, go get a beer, a burger, talk to some chicks, hang out. Nobody's gonna steal your stuff, nobody's gonna kill you. It's clean, nobody's polluting anything, and it's all right there, which is a simple pleasure of Hawaii that you really take for granted anywhere else you go in the world. And until you live here and then you leave and go somewhere else, will you respect it more and be like, whoa, like, you know, like
That's
I'm
pretty
just
special.
lucky to be here.
Yeah.
An immersive day this was that highlights the value of local insiders in this new age of connective tourism.
Can I speak? Hello, so I feel very good about my new fro here. Sometimes it moves left to right and you don't even really know what's going on.
Just off the coast of Kauai sits this forbidden island of Niihau. Today, the island's 150 inhabitants live pretty much isolated from the rest of Kauai. So, of course, with a reputation like this, I was desperate to visit and learn more, but I couldn't because foreigners simply aren't permitted on the island. So, Amy and Linda hooked me up with the next best thing, Annie, a Niihauan friend of theirs who was willing to meet me at a nearby park and explain the island's culture and purpose and their most revered export, shell jewelry.
And this one was for men, you said, because the shell's bigger.
This
Okay.
is also for men.
This is the wedding lei. You get married?
Yeah, that's
This
a
is
wedding.
the wedding lei.
I need to have the dating lay first. You got one of those? Well, how about the single? How about the single guy lay? You got one of those?
The single guys you can go with.
I think mostly the lake attracts women.
Is that right?
Like, that's what I've heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is important information.
Yeah.
Talking with Annie and her daughter, I could just feel the importance of their culture. Holding their shell jewelry was like holding pieces of history. One necklace can take up to 5 years to create and can sell for 6 digits to collectors from around the world.
So it's gonna be pitch black, and we're gonna be riding our tubes in the water, but we're gonna go out, and there's gonna be like a nice little waterfall and a swimming pool, and then we just truck it back up. It's like a 5-minute little walk up.
The next afternoon, Linda's stepdaughter, Nanny, offered to take me along with her boyfriend on a jungle excursion to what we'll call one of the most remote, lazy rivers on the planet. Surging through thick jungle, we got stuck a few times. But we arrived at this neatly carved river, sized perfectly for an inner tube. Nanny popped out the cold beers and more Hawaiian poke.
These supermarkets that sell like 20 kinds of poke.
This is like a small little store. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
Those were just blew my mind.
They're good too, though.
Crab, shrimp, octopus. And you prefer to get them at this particular place, huh?
So that's real. That's not frozen.
All the ones in the supermarket are frozen?
Previously frozen.
It's the best we've had for sure.
We loaded into our tubes and began floating lazily down this river.
Here's a nice little steps over
Yeah, you don't have to go last time.
I wanna go last.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, Matt.
Oh, it does move fast.
Things got a little dicey when the water began flowing a little faster and sharply then diverted.
Is my light on?
Yeah.
From the moment you enter the pipe, you're soaring downhill in perfect darkness.
We're in the hard spot. Hold on.
This was the kind of secret corner of Kauai that could never be made accessible to the masses. Heck, without Nani and Alika, I don't think I could even ever find it again.
I love to find running partners when I travel, and Amy and Linda hooked me up with Patrick, a teacher of Hawaiian history at one of Kauai's 2 high schools. Patrick works on the side as a hiking guide, and he suggested we meet at about 6 a.m. to determine the best trail running route before all the crowds arrived. "I'll be the ruggedly handsome bald guy dressed in black," Patrick said.
But when we're talking about marketing too, you gotta remember Damone's rules for dating. Remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
What are the rules?
Oh, well, one of us is no matter where you are, it's the place to be. Isn't this great? And it's, do you ever see Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
I know the name, but I couldn't tell you.
It's with Sean Penn when he was young, and from like the 1984 high school coming of age movie. But it's great because he's telling the nerdy kid how to be successful in dating. And the idea is, wherever you're at. It's what it is. And
I mean, that's a good rule for life.
No, exactly. Oh, we say it all the time. My daughter knows it. No, it's Damone rules. No matter where you're at, it's a place to be. And she'll look and go, isn't this great?
We hopped into my rental car and continued up the mountainside to the next trail, a winding dirt path through the jungle that opened wide into the magical Waimea Canyon. The sun was still rising, so the air was perfect, as Patrick shared with me some of the nuances of his teaching style, and perhaps most memorably, this great respect and admiration that he had for his teenage daughter, with whom he'd forged a unique relationship throughout his wife's illness. Patrick reminded me how much I value personal stories when I travel, because you're meeting more than just a famous destination or a famous view. You're actually getting to know someone's life in connection to it. Real stories that seem to stick with you forever. Economists tend to define a job as the straightforward exchange of labor for money. But vacation rental professionals define things differently. Amy and her husband Scott invited me over to their house for dinner, and their big epiphany was in the early 2000s when the economy collapsed and their professional careers as chefs were being pulled out from underneath them as all these restaurants were closing.
Scott had also, in the meantime, gotten another job, and that he showed up one day and the doors were just closed, bankrupt.
And increasingly, this crazy idea of moving to a new place and starting a business from scratch became more and more a reality.
We were doing some soul searching, and I was like, why don't we just move to Kauai and try to really make this business work? And he took him about 2 seconds to say yes.
And in the process, they used their own definition of success, which was more than just profit. It was about freedom. Freedom to pick their kids up at school at a moment's notice, or freedom to take some time off. This freedom acts as a great disruptor to the world of conventional business. It gives small organizations like Great Vacation Retreats a huge competitive advantage. It gives them leverage because they're building their businesses on their own terms. And all this seems to be working. According to their Airbnb representative, Great Vacation Retreats is in the top 5 booking-producing vacation rental companies in all of Hawaii. Choosing a vacation rental property like Halemoku by way of people like Linda and Amy, for me meant entering this gateway to the real destination of Kauai. On my last night, I took advantage of the home's spaciousness, and I hosted a traditional Hawaiian Luau with all the incredible people I met during my stay. One of Linda and Amy's reservation specialists, Keala, won MVP for the week. She put together this incredible pig roast through her friend Toby.
Oh yeah! Nice!
And I threw a little culinary twist by pairing the crispy pork skin with watermelon and a little mint and pickled daikon radish.
It's really good.
It's really good.
Annie arrived to the house and blessed me with the most amazing Nihaoan shell necklace.
Oh, how do I look?
Good.
Yeah?
Kelly came with his son Shiloh and several surfer friends who were visiting from Tahiti.
Look, say hi.
Oh, and my little sister. There was Patrick and Nanny and her beautiful daughter Athena, and Linda, Amy, Scott, and a handful of extended family. This feeling of hosting my new friends, who so selflessly gave me their time, felt really rewarding. And maybe our luau was able to pay forward, even if just a little bit, some of the life and generosity that Kauai so memorably offered me.